I'm joined now by Teng Jianqun from Beijing. He's the director of the American Studies Department at the China Institute of International Studies. We're seeing face-to-face trilateral talks among senior defense officials from the ROK, Japan, and the U.S. These are the first talks since the Trump administration decided to apply additional pressure on the DPRK. What do we make of this?
Yeah, this is actually a very important moment for all the parties concerned in this region. For example, the escalation of the tension in recent months actually gave a very dangerous signal to the outside world that any clash or any war in this region might be disaster for all the parties, all the countries concerned. So I think the coordination among the military allies, the United States, Japan, and ROK, will be of great importance for the future of this region's peace and stability. And I'm sure the region's attention will be continued in the coming month. And so all the countries should find a real good solution to this dispute.
We're also seeing the U.S. Vice President in the region. He said this to Josh Rogan of the Washington Post. All of the negotiations and discussions failed miserably, talking about negotiations between the United States and the DPRK. Said the Trump approach is not to engage with the DPRK, but instead renewed and more vigorous engagement with North Korea's principal economic partner, China. The Trump administration acknowledging that China has an important role to play following the Mar-a-Lago summit between Presidents Trump and Xi. Talk to me about China's role in all of this.
Of course, Chinese government has played a very important role in this game. Since the 2003, the Chinese government initiated the six parties talk and some agreement or resolution adopted during the process of the negotiations of the six countries. And this time, I think we have got a window of opportunity because the threat from DPRK in missile and in nuclear capability have already become the real and direct to all the countries concerned. Any country should not manipulate the nuclear technology, the nuclear dispute in Korean Peninsula. So China and the United States should join together and play a crucial role in leading the way out of the security dilemma in Korean Peninsula.
Crucial way. Also a calming influence we're seeing from China. All these tough words coming from both sides, but China really playing an important role in that respect. And you have two key diplomats, Wu Dawei and Wang Yi. Can you talk to me about their respective roles in all of this?
Yeah, of course, China, recently increased its efforts in the peaceful solution to the tension right now. And Wu Dawei and also our Foreign Minister Wang Yi gave several speeches during recent months. And I think China will continue its effort to maintain the peace and stability in Korean Peninsula because China has its own strategic interest in this region because the peace and stability actually have been the condition for the Chinese domestic development. So China has contributed greatly to the effort to maintain the peace and stability. But some countries, especially the United States and the DPRK, should be very careful in playing the game of war or playing game of a clash. This is a dangerous game, especially when Donald Trump entered the White House.
Diplomatic solution, something that China has always advocated. How do you see this thing playing out in the next weeks, months, if you will?
Yeah, actually, China insists on three principles. First, denuclearization. Second, negotiation. And third is a peaceful dialogue. So I think all the principles insisted on by the Chinese government is actually the foundation for the parties to find a peaceful solution. But I don't think China can play a leading role in this game because the two sides, the United States and DPRK, actually are the two key players. If the United States, still continue to put on military pressure, economic pressure, and also political pressure on DPRK. I'm sure Teng Jianqun, the leader of DPRK, will continue to take top position against such measures taken by the United States. So this time, I'm sure for all the parties concerned, we should think about the result of any military clash or war in this region in the 100 years past. I'm sure everyone knows that any war in this region will be disaster for the countries in this area.
Teng Jianqun joining us from Beijing. Thanks so much for your analysis.